So today I'm going to talk about two different ways of looking at time that we use in our language every day. So it's pretty interesting how our word choice actually affects our perceptions of time. But before I talk about the two different ways we look at it, I want to talk about this guy. So this is John Ellis MacTaggart. He's a British idealist metaphysician. He died in 18. Sorry, he was born in 1866 and he died in 1925. And what was really important that he did was a paper he published in 1908 called The Unreality of Time, in which he identifies two major ways of looking at time. He calls these the A series and B series. And they're also known as the A and B theories of time. So like A series, A theory, these terms are used interchangeably. And they've now become basically the two major ways we look at time. And like there's still an ongoing debate today. Lots of people use the term like A and B theories when talking about different ways of looking at time. And the best way to see how these different theories work is an example. So I'm going to use this presentation as the event that we frame our language around. So these are examples of an A series sort of way of looking at time. So unsurprisingly, the A series is also called the tense theory of time, since it's very reliant on tenses to define where an event is located temporally. So everything centers around the dynamic present. That really means like what's considered right now is always changing. So like for example, what's considered right now at this moment in time isn't the same as what was considered right now 5 minutes ago. So the tenses change in relation to that, and whether or not these tense statements are true change as well. So I'm going to go through them one by one to make this a little clearer. I am giving this presentation. So this is true because I'm doing it right now. I will give this presentation. This statement isn't true because I am giving it right now, but it was true. It was true last block. It was true yesterday. It was true 2 days ago, etc. So like the truth values of these statements change. And I have given this presentation. So this isn't true, but this will be true by the end of this class, by tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, etc. And we're looking at events really as they continually change positions in time, from the future to the present to the past. So you can say in A series that there's an actual flow of time. Like time literally passes. And what's important about A series is that we don't use just like verb tenses. I'm using verb tenses in this example, but we can also use words like yesterday, today, tomorrow. These are all sort of, it's all really relative, like the meaning of these words. It relates to the present. And one of the major philosophies that A series is related to is presentism. Literally, presentism is only the present is real. So presentists don't consider the future or the past to be real. Only things that happen or exist in the present actually exist. So like they would say that a historical battle or historical figure doesn't actually exist. Moving on, these are examples of the B series of time. So it's very different from the A series in that we don't really rely on tenses that much here. We use a lot of, what's really important is like the information that's presented in the statements. So like it's on May 27th, 2014. It's after Riley's. It's before Vicky's. These are all static facts. They don't change. Unlike in the A series, these will always be true. So we're not looking at events like in relation to an ever-changing present. So they don't really change, but we're looking at them as fixed points on a timeline. In the sense, time doesn't actually flow. It's literally just like a fixed timeline. And this is related to the philosophy eternalism. This is also pretty much the block universe theory. So that basically says that all points in time are equally real. Whereas like presentists said that, oh, we only know the present really because we're living in the present. Eternalism says that, you know, like past, present, future, these aren't really real things. These are just sort of like illusions that we've kind of imposed on time because that's our own subjective perception. But objectively, there is no flow of time. It's literally like time is one block. And what's pretty interesting about these two main theories is that they relate to how we perceive existence, not just time. So like we saw in the A series that we consider the present to be very important. And presentists say that presentists say that to take that to a whole nother level, saying that like we only know the present, so only the present is real. But in B series, we see that more of like a sort of objective view. So like, does the limits of our perception of time, like this is what we perceive as the present, also limit like existence? So like does only what we see really constitute the limits of existence, or are we maybe just like blocks, like smaller blocks in a greater block of time? And what also is interesting about these two theories is that people juxtapose them as opposites. So like A and B theorists have debates and stuff about like which one is right. But the thing is, we use the language of both interchangeably every day. So maybe it's possible that like at least parts of both of these theories can comfortably coexist. And I hope I've left you guys some food for thought. Thank you.